Hey folks, can you hear me on the audio? Hey folks, there may be slight delay. Oh, great. Thanks, Jim. I hear myself somewhere. I think some window is open. I'm just trying to close that one so we can get started. It's like so tiny comet, folks. So this is the live view. If you see it, I just wanted to show you live. If we can stack it, it's going to be better. I'm just showing you live for now, for a few minutes, and then we'll go into the Pixinsight processing. So let me do like low and make it like maybe 20 seconds. It's pretty decently bright comet. Yeah, if you can see, in every 20 seconds, this comet is going to like move down or move up. I don't know which way it is going. So, Jim, I'm going to actually go into the last stack of my comet, and we will actually process it live. I completed the processing and I recorded it. Looks like little bigger than the star sizes. Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, you don't see a whole lot of tail for this comet when you are seeing it, but when you start, I don't know if you can make it out, but if you zoom in and out, there is a kind of haze around it. I don't know if you are getting that little haze. I think maybe if I do like 45-second exposures, actually it will start coming down slowly. So, actually, there are two comets right now. One is this one, and there is another one with a uh, designation. Yeah, you see that it moved a little bit. I put my cursor there. Yeah, I put my cursor there just for you to see if the comet does move. So I'm doing like every 45 seconds now. Hey, thanks, Jim. Yeah, this is actually not the reason why I was going after like this comet. The reason why I'm playing around with this comet is to get ready ourselves for taking a picture of that interstellar comet. So that one is very faint. We won't be able to take good picture of that comet if we don't have the monochrome thing figured out. I don't think that interstellar comet we can take a picture of it if we try with color, right? So if we wanted to take a good picture of that interstellar comet, we got to figure out this monochrome, how that is going to work, and see if we can take a good picture of, like, doesn't matter whether it's a comet or asteroid or whatever. Did you guys just saw it? It moved tiny bit. Yeah, so if we can figure out how to do this with this monochrome, we should be able to get this going. So, do you all hear me on the audio? Okay. Let me zoom in a little bit so you actually get a true feel for it. Okay, So if you guys enjoy, watch like for a couple of more minutes. I'll leave it in there for a few minutes, and then we will go into Pixinsight, and then we will process the comet itself. Okay, I know like most of you are interested in Pixinsight as well. Hey Adsi, how are you? Yep, thank you. Yeah, so if we figure out how to do this properly on this comet, we should be able to take that comet Borisov that is going to be bright later this part of the year and maybe some part of the next year. I know it is coming like 3 o'clock in the morning for us. And then, like, I mean, we will have more window as the winter comes. It comes a little bit for us to see, maybe if possible, and then we can take a peek at it. I'm more interested in trying to see that faint object with monochrome and then maybe capture that in color. That's what, if you see like the pictures from like the observatories, and when you look at how they are doing it, I think the way we are doing it now is almost the same. Actually, some of the observatory cameras cannot do what we can do now, because most of the observatory cameras are they can't go down to the lower altitude, so they have to wait until it rises up certain degrees because of the way the observatories walls are built. So, and these comets, when they come so low, either east or west, whatever, they won't be able to see it. So they are worried about that comet with the same worry too, like to see if they can't use like the really big ones. So they have to figure out how to do this. So yeah, this is a good opportunity for us, like, you know, amateur astronomers community to get in and see if we can take picture of it. So there aren't many pictures of Borisov yet. So there's like a couple of them. So we wanted to see if we can start trying, and it's pretty faint though. It's like a 17 magnitude. That means it's like almost half the magnitude of what you're seeing here. But if I can get half this, I can certainly see it, right? It's like 45 seconds. I'll bump it up to like 3 minutes. I should be able to see it. So anyway, so that was the reason why a practice on some comet, but luckily this comet is pretty close to the Earth in 100 years. This comet is called Comet C 2018 W2 Africano. It was not discovered like long time ago. I just moved it up manually so you can actually see it sliding down. Yeah, it's not in color. It's not in color. By the way, I set up the CGX-L mount with Explore Scientific 127 and with a different setup. I'll show you guys next week sometime. I played around with it this morning. I took C14 down a little bit and see if everything is working or not, and it seems everything is good. So I have to try that. I'll show you guys later. Okay. So if you are ready, we can go to Pixinsight. Please do let me know. We have to watch I can still keep this, I believe. Oh, it's a whole family, yeah. I'm just leaving it there live so you guys can see it. Maybe, yeah, keep it something like that. And then we can go to Pixinsight. I'm just trying to see if I can show you guys both. So, okay, what you're watching on the right hand side is the pictures that I took with ZWO 1600 mm. So I took LRGB pictures in an order. Like some folks actually do like LRGB and then they go back to LRGB so that they can stack them in color. But the way I did was I took all the luminance first and then red, green and blue. Hey, thanks, Jess. All right, so I will continue, I guess. So these are the files that I moved to like a folder called Comet Live. So I took them like luminance, red, green, and blue. And once you capture these pictures, I created a folder called INT folder in Pixinsight. INT for integration, just to make it. The first process that I'm doing right now is called image calibration. Okay, so image calibration is going to remove the vignetting in the corners, and also it removes the gradients and dust modes and whatever. So by the way, on RASA, I used to take for narrowband like around 1000 ADU, but for the LRGBs I took 5000 ADU. So I'm doing an image calibration right now, and I'm moving these into an output directory. So I put the master bias file. I don't want to use a dark file, there is no need. And I actually created the same kind of names for the flat file. Okay, so image calibration I did with master flat and master bias. So you have to calibrate your files for each filter. I think that's pretty standard process. I don't need to explain you guys that one. And it takes like few minutes to calibrate these files. So I calibrated each one of them like L, R, GB, okay? So if you see, there is a huge difference. Let me show you guys one thing. So this is one of the files, like the very beginning file, like L frame 1. And if you can see this file, do you see like quite a bit of vignetting in the corners? Now, on the calibrated file, once it's all done, the calibration file will have that _C once you calibrate. And this is the file after it is calibrated. Okay, so you see here, this is the Comet. This is a 45 seconds picture of the Comet. Whereas here, once your calibration is complete, you actually see on the right hand side lot more clear, more better picture, the same. Yeah, this is pretty good. All right, so we will continue the calibration process. I recorded it so that it's easier, so that you guys don't need to wait until I complete the calibration process. So now we are doing the calibration for each filter. Pretty standard process. I'm moving ahead. Same settings. You can copy my settings from there. Okay. Now, the cosmetic correction and the debayer, we don't need to do it for the comets. The reason for that is because, well, cosmetic correction is like a nice to do, particularly for a comet. I don't think it matters. Whereas debayer, we are not using color camera, so we don't need to do debayering process. So I'm jumping directly into star alignment process. Even though I took a comet in monochrome, I'm still doing a star alignment. It is kind of counterintuitive to think, why are you doing a star alignment when you are supposed to do a comet alignment, right? But in order for the comet alignment process to work, we have to do this thing called star alignment, okay? Without that, I don't think it is going to show like a good result. Okay, so anyway, so we went into the star alignment. I gave like the very first picture as the reference image, and I took pretty much all the pictures. I mean, here you don't need to do it by filter. You can just take everything that you have and like align them and put them in a folder so that you are done. My settings are here. I'll open up the settings. So nothing in the hints, and then in the star detection, you can pause this video if you want. Those are the settings for the star detection. For star matching, you can see these settings. Okay, and nothing much for this one. You can pause this video if you want. So this will star align pretty much all the files that we have. So this is a step before we perform what we call comet alignment. Okay, I'll pause here for a moment and let me see if you all hear me okay. All right. So now there is a process on the top called, if you go to the process, there is a process called Comet Alignment. Did you see that? If you go to image registration, Comet Alignment. So this is a process we have to use to like make the comet in color or do the comet alignment. So the way you have to do is you have to bring like literally all the files that we have, the ones that we star aligned, into this thing called Comet Alignment. And by default, I think this process is going to date sort them, like, you know, first, second, whatever, depends on how you took a picture. It knows that because of the FITS header, and it sorted like the first one and the last one and everything in the middle. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to go into, like, you know, that file, and the very first file, zoom into the file and click on that comet, like the nucleus. So this process will identify where the comet is, you know, for the process. You don't need to do it for all. You just need to do it for the last one and the first one. And it, you know, you see those parameters there. I think Pixinsight is going to put them in the right order, I guess. And then like do the same thing for the last file too. All right. Do the same thing for the last file too. And once you complete that, you need to give like what is the output directory, and you don't want to subtract anything right now, and then just press the process button. So remember one thing though, this process will create files with a file name _CA, like _Comet Align. Okay. Now, ideally, you may want to keep it in a different folder just to keep it separate, right? So these are comet aligned. Okay. What does it mean is they are not aligned by the stars, but they are aligned by the comet. So if I take these pictures, the ones that are with _CA files, and if I use a process called image integration, and if you have to integrate them by filter. You don't want to do it like the whole thing, do it by filter. So if you do only for the L filter, it actually stacks them in the image registration process and then creates a comet without stars. Okay, I wanted to go back one step. Before you do this, I wanted to show you my settings. These are extremely critical. So in the image integration, those are the settings. In the image pixel rejection, these are the settings in the 1. In the 2, right here, if you wanted to remove the stars and if you wanted to only get the comet from the stacked picture, you need to make sigma high equal to 0 and put sigma low equal to 4. This is the only change that you have to do on top of these CA files, the Comet Align files. Okay, and once if you do that, the result picture that is going to come out will come without stars but just with the comet. Okay, so that's what you saw just now here. Now no stars in this one and just the comet, because you don't need to do ABE. I just did ABE for fun, but there is no point doing ABE on it. I was just looking at the comet and I was thinking like, what do I need to do here? But yeah, it comes out beautiful. I stacked 45 seconds and like 30 pictures roughly each filter. So it gives you a pretty good nebulosity around the comet. If you just take bare minimum picture, like for a few seconds, I don't think you will see the nebulosity that you need to see. But if you do the stacking like the way normally we do on the comet and align comet alignment process, now you are going to get a beautiful comet, almost with the tail and everything, right? So that's what we wanted to see. All right. So you have to do this for L and RGB separately, and make sure you save this file, the result file, whatever you wanted to call it, L_comet or whatever, and then continue the process for the R, G, and B. So now this is the red filter output that I got, and here is the green filter output I got, and this is the last one is the blue one. Okay, so now you have make sure you save all these files, the LRGB files. All right, so now you have the LRGB 4 separate files. So go back to the all processes, the image registration and comet alignment. Now what you need to do is go to the subtract directory, and you could put just the L comet there, the luminance comet. You really don't need to combine it. I combined it for fun, but you don't need to. So I took a LRGB combination on the comet and I combined it just to see how it is. And actually I used that file as my subtract file. But you don't need to do it. You can just use like a luminance. Yeah, you have to do Control A on that to actually see the comet in color. Yeah, for some reason it puts that green cast on that file itself, and it will go away when you combine at the end. So no need to worry about that green cast. I guess it's because it's too much signal on the green, and I don't think we are I don't think, we don't need to adjust anything at this time. The green stuff, leave the way it is, okay. Now in the comet alignment though, select the final file, either the a color file or maybe just do the luminance file, either way is fine. Now put this in a different directory, the ones that are coming out, put them in literally in a separate directory, because it actually keeps the same file name some weird reason. So what we are doing now is not doing the comet alignment, but we are doing what we call star alignment. So now we are taking the comet out of each file and we are doing star alignment, okay? on all the files, like literally. So what it will do is it will do a minus on the file for the Comet. Now, if you see, that file, yeah, hold on. Yeah, so once it creates the files, like one thing that you need to do is, these are star aligned files, right? So do the image integration again, same settings, no changes, except the sigma high is like 5 and sigma low is equal to 0. I think that's all we need to do. This is basically to remove the comet and to keep the stars, okay? And run that process. It creates what we call a star file. So if you see the star file, not this one, I think the first time when I did it, I got it wrong. So I had to do it again. Yeah, so this is the file. So once it completed it, see that it creates a star file without comet. The comet is going to get blurred out and it creates the star file. And you have to create the star file for, like, each filter, LRGB, okay? So now you got 4 star files and 4 comet files, right? So name them right. I'm just moving ahead. So here I'm doing LRGB combination only for stars, like LRGB, like, stars only. And the result file is going to come out good actually. Only the stars, no comet, and a blurred image of a comet. So these are stars only, right? Now you got a comet file in color. Now you got a star file too. So even though we spent, I guess, 2 hours on this comet, it is actually still going to show a pretty good picture, right? For the 2 hours. So you can actually increase the time if you want to make it look good, but you can't go beyond your frame, because your frames will become useless. So like more than, if the comet is too fast. So here I'm using pixel math, and in pixel math, the star file and the comet file, just do a plus on them, like LRGB comet plus LRGB star, and just create a new image. Yeah, I got the identifier wrong. I fixed it. So this is a star file plus comet file together. Pretty much, I mean, you can do you guys know how to process it. So I removed the magenta stars a little bit. Did some extra processing a little bit. And pretty much that's it. That gives you pretty good file at the end. Am I guiding on a star? No, actually, I wasn't guiding at all. Actually, I took 35 seconds, sorry, 45 seconds, but you could guide on a star. I mean, I think that should not be a problem at all because you are taking the picture the normal way. You're not doing anything else. So, all you're doing is you're taking as if you're taking any other regular picture, but only the difference is the way you process it. You comet align and you star align and you combine. I think that's the difference. If I explained you correctly. It's kind of pretty cool actually to get this going. So if you guys have So any questions? Otherwise we can call it a night. It's a pretty good, I got few other things to show, but I mean there is no end to it. So it's actually doing a live comet. This is a live picture, and this is it's pretty windy outside. It might actually turn into a rain or something. So all right, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you guys later. All right. All right. Good night, everyone, or good morning, wherever you are.